Hey y'all, I'm Amber.
And I'm Shamia.
And we're from Expression's International Dance Company. We are here to invite you guys out December 6th to our encounter called Set Your Gaze, where every art will be displayed unto the glory of God. For example, you'll have painters, we'll have a painter table. So if you worship visually and you want to paint during your worship time in that time frame, you're going to paint. If when you hear the Holy Spirit talking to you, like to write, we're gonna have a writing table set up. We're gonna have musicians, we're gonna have, of course, psalmists, we're gonna have spoken word artists. I mean, even the spoken word artists, they're gonna get it in that atmosphere.
The encounter is December 6th. How can they purchase their tickets and how much are they?
They are $20, and you can go to www.myxidc.com in order to purchase your ticket.
Hey. I always get distracted by that commercial because I'm telling you I want to be there. It is your girl Pus'Her. If you're not pushing forward, you are moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really, say it out loud. Put it in the chat. Come on, Nate. Forward ever, backwards never. We ain't going back. The only time we go back is for a frame of reference. We will not get stuck, stagnated. We are pushing forward. Hey. Thank you, everyone. Sade, I seen you. Hey. I'm going to do my best to give you a shout out when I see you pop up if you are in the comments. And now I ain't making no promise because y'all know I can't see them trying to be cute. I ain't got my glasses on. But anyway, Today, this evening, we have, hold up. Did you get your copy of It Takes One to Know One or People Pus'Her? If you have not, travel over to pusherlife.org. Get your copy today. We are doing amazing things, and we want you to be a part of this initiative. Healing 1 million people, one person at a time. But I'm going to start with me first. I remixed that thing because so many of us, especially men, think that this journey is about women, but it is not. It is for the receptive. If you have a heart, if you have a mind, if you have the activity of your limbs, if you are in your right mind and you are in a place where you don't want to go backwards, you want to move forward, you want to have difficult conversations, you recognize who you are, this is for you. I am for you, the Pus'Her. So without further ado, we have your girl, Shanae, a.k.a. Nay the Barber, a.k.a. Miss Parker. Sorry, Miss Parker. I am for real. All right. I am so nervous today. As you see, the Pus'Her is getting pushed today. I felt like I needed to take a step back. I am that person that will inform you that I will not ask you to do anything that I am not willing to do. And that is from telling you when I'm pushing you and asking you who you are, what is your purpose, how you living, where you going, are you free, what is your idea, what does freedom look like to you? I can't I'm not one of the ones that will ask you these questions and not myself being challenged to have to answer these questions. So today I am excited yet nervous that we have Nathan Barber back with us, and we are going to reverse the roles. Normally I am pushing, I am asking questions, I am probing. Some couple people got on here emotional, some people got stuck, but we pushed each other forward because that is what this is about. But this evening, the Pus'Her, me, yours truly, I am sitting in a hot seat today. And Lord have mercy, I know that I am nervous, I'm sweating, all kinds of stuff. But I am going to turn it over. And you in the chat, we need your energy. We need your support. As always, you can ask any question. I'll tell you, mind your business, or I will answer the question. Because not everything is for everybody. But if you ask that piercing question, no doubt, I am comfortable with being uncomfortable. And that's what this is about. And so I am going to turn it over to your girl, the people's girl, Nada Barbara. What's up? What's going on? How you
What
feel?
up, leader? How y'all doing? How everybody doing? First, I want to thank everybody for joining us, because y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all chose to be here with us.
That's
So
right.
thank you for joining us. If you have to leave early, don't forget to hit the like button, but we're gonna have a good show today. And yeah, I'm pushing the pusher. I'm pushing the pusher now. So basically we're reversing the roles. Basically the goal is to gain the deeper insight on my girl Pus'Her. Y'all following her every week, so it's only right if you know who the person is, who Calita Brown is, not just the Pus'Her, because that's just one of the names. To gain a deeper insight and not to criticize or to put somebody on the spot is all positive here. So I'm gonna jump right into it. Calita Brown. Okay, so basically, I see you go by three names: Calita Brown, Asabi, and Pus'Her. So
Ooh,
government is Calita Brown, correct?
correct.
Okay. Who's Calita Brown? We let us know who you are.
Okay. Who is Calita Brown? So I can give you
Matter of fact, let me switch this up. Let me switch it up. Since we got a limited amount of time, I ain't gonna leave the question that open. So basically, when I say when I ask you describe in one word, Calita Brown. First word.
pushing.
Okay, pushing. That's Calita Brown. Pushing. Okay, what about Asabi? One word.
Joy.
Joy. Okay. Now let's go to Pus'Her. The people's Pus'Her. One word.
People.
People. Okay. I like that. So let's go back to Calita Brown when you said the word you said was pushing. Why did you choose that word?
I chose that word because I oftentimes tell people I am what I do. I do who I am, what I am.
Mm-hmm.
And what I mean by that, there is a lot that is attached to the name Calita. Is a lot attached to that. And what I mean by that is I have a past, and my past isn't rain skittles. It isn't colorful. Or should I say it isn't as colorful as it is today. And so Calita typically is the name that my mother has given me. And intellectually, I can say that because I've studied the name, and the closest to Hebrew is Greek or African. The closest name is Femi, and what that means, Femi, and what that means is love me. I learned that in elementary school, and it stayed with me forever.
Mm-hmm.
But so that's the intellectual version. However, Calita and some of the things, without going into details that is attached to it, Calita has been incarcerated for 22 years in the state of Maryland. That is attached to Calita, and that before that, Calita was an average, typical teenager who grew up thinking that life happens. And I had a single mother. I have two siblings, a twin brother and an older sister who I hold dear in my heart, who I have a bond that it goes far beyond blood. They are my friends. Indeed, not just my siblings, but they are my friends. My sister is someone who nurtured me, so I give her the respect of a mother because she embodies that, because she is nurturing. However, there has been some choices that I made to disconnect me from that nurture, to disconnect me from who I knew that loved me, and hence comes fast forward 22 years of incarceration. And I wish that I can say inside of my incarceration that I was rainbows and skittles, but I wasn't. I took that darkness with me. And for some time, I'll say judgment is attached to Calita. There is insecurity is attached to Calita. I'm gonna slow down.
All right, slow down for me because basically because we tried to prep yesterday, but you told me you wanted it raw and real. So, I'm gonna give it to you raw and real. I mean, I'm basically gonna give it to you, and I want you to give it to us raw and real, because basically you said you was 10 times willing to be, vulnerable because your audience is very vulnerable to you. So, what was your childhood like? What was your parents like? What, when did the incarceration occur? How
So
did it occur? Who did
um
it affect?
my you said who did it affect?
Yes.
Whew. So my father is deceased. My father was not a participant in my life. I did know my father, but I did not have a relationship with my father.
Mm.
As I said, he wasn't a participant. My mother raised me. Today, as a woman, I could say she did the best that she could with what she knew, what she had. However, growing up, I felt I am a twin, and as I said, I have an older sister, and we all three have different experiences. Um, I'll fast forward like any other young girl in the city of Baltimore growing up. At some point, I'll say at the age of 13, from the age of 18, is when my life um, started kind of being dark and dim, where I just was existing. I did. You use your imagination. I was manipulative. I used people used me. I've been in situations when I was 15, I was shot. um
Hold
when
up. Let's take it back. Let's take it back. When you was 15, you was shot.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because you just said it like, oh, I was shot. I mean, how did that feel? What did that feel like?
um
What did that entail?
I was so to be honest with you, looking back over, my life and in that period of time, I was out there. I was homeless for real, couch to couch,
Let's
pillow
go.
to pillow,
Let's go.
as a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just one day, a situation happened, and as a result of that situation, a guy decided to pull out his gun and start shooting. And
Okay.
no, it was a big brawl. So I've been shot twice.
Okay.
Shot once, and it grazed me, but my twin brother was shot. Almost lost his life. The first incident, it was a neighborhood brawl. I'm not going to say what area that it happened in, but it was a big fight. Some kids came off of a U-Haul truck and in
Yeah.
our area, and that's just what it is. That's just what it was, and we responded. And I remember until this day, like it was yesterday, a gentleman hit this older lady. The area where one of the areas that I grew up in, the older people didn't play. You couldn't come in their neighborhood acting all crazy or whatever. They would come out with their baseball bats and all that. And this particular night, this guy hit this lady from around there. And I, thinking that I'm big and bad, I jumped on this red car and I hit him with all my might. And as a result of that, next thing you know, you hear gunshots. And
How did that feel? What was that experience like? Just give me 3 words.
Numb. One word. Numb.
Mm-hmm.
Numb.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know I was shot. Somebody had to tell me that I was shot. And
Mm-hmm.
even when I recognized and I was zapping out, I would not go nowhere until
What did that do for you mentally? Mentally.
It messed me up mentally.
Mm-hmm.
Mentally, it messed me up because not even the fact that I got shot, but it was the fact that I was in a situation that I was in to be that vulnerable, to be out there like that. It wasn't even, I wish that I can say that it was because I, got shot, but it wasn't. What messed me up was, had my circumstances would have been different, I wouldn't have been out there anyway to be in that predicament.
Okay,
And
what you mean by the circumstances? Give it to us.
being homeless, living house to house.
Okay, you just told us about your childhood. You said
Yeah.
what you pretty much described that it was typical, but now you're saying you're homeless.
Well, back
Now
then
you're saying you was homeless as a child. So
Well, you got to keep in mind that we normalize this. These are things that we normalize that we thought was cool. Well, I'm going to say that I normalized that I thought was cool. I thought it was cool to be outside. I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was cool to hang out with the older people. I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was cool, to not have no rules. I thought it was cool, to live a life where you think is glitz and glamour. With the drug dealers, with the people that's making money. You want to be out there with them, going out, going to clubs, drinking
So
and
did this
partying.
connect, I'm sorry, that connect you to your crime being that way, the way you were living?
No doubt.
No
No
doubt.
doubt.
Okay. So
That's
at what age were you incarcerated, Carlita?
at the age of 18.
At the age of 18, you were incarcerated as an adult,
Yes, ma'am.
and you were given
40 years.
40 years. Were you incarcerated by yourself? Did you do your crime by yourself?
I'm not going to speak too much on that.
Okay.
But I will say that I have a twin brother who's still incarcerated,
Okay.
and who who we are still, standing in a gap for, and who we are waiting for. That is the only person that I will speak of in this situation. And that is the only information that I will give as it relates to that information. I know that I'm in a different place today, but some stuff is still in me.
I feel you. Okay. So you're in a different place today, but some stuff is still in you. As far as elaborate.
Today, I know what to say and what not to say.
Okay.
I know how much to give.
Okay.
All right.
That's why I want to hear. That's what I
Okay.
want to hear. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead because the audience they asking questions. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a question out from Richard Reynolds. Why do you want to help people after being left to take care of yourself for so long? Good question.
So understand this. Post incarceration, understand this. I recognize there was times where I didn't want to live. There was times that I didn't believe that I should have lived or I should be living. There was times where I threatened to take my own life. I'm saying post incarceration. I had gotten to a point where I just was existing, and I felt hopeless. And that's why I love my sister to this day, because she did the best that she could, because she lived far away. She lived in Georgia. I would go back and forth, but I got tired of the back and forth, and I wanted to be home with the people that I knew, because even in Georgia, I found a way to get in trouble. Even out there, I found a way to get in mess, to get involved, to stir stuff up, and it just wasn't working. But I'm telling you, when we made the decision to come home, because that's where I lived at in Georgia, and I came home. I wasn't even home a whole month before I got incarcerated. I made the decision to do something different, because that last run that I had in Georgia, it was a reality check for me. And so my sister, told me that she was coming home for good, and I had to make a decision, because I didn't want to be that person and keep disappointing my sister. I didn't want to keep disappointing her. So I made a decision. I wanted to change. But when you are put back in the same environment and you're not given the resources or the tools or the right people that got the tools, you go back to what you know. Okay. Living pillow to pillow, house to house.
Okay. So I'm gonna take another question from the chat, and it's from Restoring Hope Ministry. Thank you, good brother, for joining us. Do you feel the most alive when you are helping others? Do you have days you still feel depressed, but beginning to help others and your joy comes back?
So this is how I function, because I do have a passion to help people, but it comes from the passion of helping myself first. The energy that I put into pushing myself, because I recognize that's what I wanted the point that I was trying to make to answer the question why I help people and why I'm so passionate about it, because I'm passionate about myself and the joy that I got the day, the peace that I got the day. I want other people to experience it. I want other people to know that there is a different way, and I am unselfish enough to give away the information freely. That's just me being transparent. So as I work on myself, I decided to heal out loud. And because I'm deciding to heal out loud, people get blessed by it. So it's not that let me put that disclaimer out there. People are not my first priority. It is me, because the day that I stop making a decision for me, I'm a fail, people.
Okay. When did that happen? When did you find out? When did you discover that?
So a little bit in my incarceration, I told you that I still was crazy. I still was out my mind.
Yeah,
But
you was wilding. You was wilding. I mean, I just didn't really understand the difficult relationships you chose to
all right, hold up, slow down.
engage in.
All right, come on now, slow. Don't keep telling my business.
Let's go. Raw and willing, raw
Let
and
me
real.
answer the people's
Let's keep
question.
it real.
Listen, hold up. You going
because you telling me, you know, I was with you about 20 of those 22 years.
Yeah.
You know, so basically, you know, I want to know you basically sound like you had a fair childhood, but also difficult in some way. So you had a difficult childhood, and then you found yourself in a difficult situation, which caused you to be incarcerated, correct?
Right.
And then you decided to take on all these difficult difficult relationships while already incarcerated. So, I mean,
why you jumped all the way out there?
let's do it. Okay. Look, we got 1 hour. Let's do it.
So, okay. So we're gonna back up a little bit. So we're talking about Calita. We
still on Calita. We didn't get to Asabi yet. We still on Calita.
Okay. So I had that mentality that I'm gonna do what I want to do, the way that I want to do it, when I want to do it, how I want to do it. That was my mentality then. In my ignorance, in my lack of self-knowledge, I still had that attitude because I was surviving. And because I was in survival mode, I did what I wanted to do. And I didn't care about your rules or nobody else's rules. It eventually caught up with me. I did not recognize that my behavior and the things that I was doing still had a cause and effect on other people. I thought it was just me, until I found out that my behavior while incarcerated was affecting my twin brother. So when I found out that my behavior affected him, I began to start thinking. I wish that I could say immediately my behavior changed, but it didn't. I began to just start thinking. That's a part of the process.
Was that because of the time? Was that because of the time, the 45?
40. I felt like I wasn't going home. I felt like that was my home. I felt like I couldn't see past the barbed wires. I couldn't see my life back then. I could not see my life past where I was at. I was limited in my thinking.
Yes.
And because I was limited in my thinking, I participated in limited things because of my thinking and my belief. I was lost.
You gained a lot. You gained a lot in your 22 years. You gained college. You gained college education. You gained college education. You gained experience, dance ministries. You did a lot of things. You know, you worked for the chaplain. You know, you were doing. I mean, no matter how many times you fell in these situations or relationships or whatever you had going on, you always picked yourself up. I give you that. You know, it was like you was always falling, but you was always getting up, always pushing. You always pushed. You always had, positive things going on. So, I salute you for that.
And I have to say, I don't take, even though it was my decision to not give up and to fight for myself, I have to give credit to people. I do have a village. I've learned that your family is who participates in your life consistently, who you grow from, who you learn from. And I got to say that it took for a gentleman while incarcerated to pull me up and say, do you know your self-worth? Do you know that that your life means so much more than what you are presenting to people? Like, I see you. And because he had the nerve and the audacity to pull me up and tell me that I see you and this ain't it. And then I thought, because I think I'm all that, I think I'm cute even while incarcerated. I told you I was a savage. So I'm thinking that this was a way in. And no, my first kite that I got from that side was an assignment. I'm like, who he think he is? So,
everybody don't know what a kite is now. So,
so a kite is a piece of paper that you write on and you fold it up into the smallest diamond that you can get it into. I mean, a triangle. The smallest triangle you can get into, and that is a kite. You write on the outside of it, you know, who you want it to go to, and you fly that thing. And flying it is you just pass it till it get to the person it needs to get to. That is a kite. Prison 101.
I have one more thing. I'm not going, we're not going to dwell into the prison, but I just remember one distinct incident. It was your parole hearing. And
the first one or the second one?
The second one. The second parole hearing, basically, where you had the victim's family come up and speak, and basically that was the first time the first one. That's the first time I really experienced, that type of thing. And basically, you had people trying to plot on you, trying to, lie on you, but you still stood there and, apologized for your part. And you still stood there with dignity, holding your head high, and like I felt some type of way. So, what was that experience like for you? And it was like that experience was like, it was like frustrating for you because it was holding you back from leaving, because these people that came in and plotted on you, trying to hold you down, but what was that experience like?
It was hard. It was hard to go through that. As strong as I am and as tenacious as I can be, that was one of the weakest experience or responses to an experience that I have had. It doesn't feel good to have a body of people tell you they hate you. It doesn't feel good to have a body of people saying that they are angry and that they will never forgive you and that you don't deserve any chances. Forget a second chance. You don't deserve any chances to look at you and tell you that you are a monster, that you are the least of these. It is gut-wrenching. It is enough. It was enough for me to spiral out of control because that's what I did. I shut down. I went into a deep depression. I began to indulge in those different difficult situations because I knew no other way. And this is me doing this as a leader, of all these many things that you named. I spiraled out of control for a year. It took me a year to get myself gathered. It felt like I had to do the work all over again. I had to forgive myself. I had to go through a process. And then once I was able to work it out within myself, I began the process of forgiving those people that lie, those people who are angry, because a part of me understands. A part of me, how dare I be upset because of your truth, even if your truth is mixed with a lie. How dare I? That's how you choose to represent yourself. That's how you choose to express yourself. And because I have this mindset today,
do you forgive yourself?
I do.
Okay.
I forgive myself because I'm not greater than the one that created me. And because I believe
Come
that God
on.
created me, how dare I not
Come
hold,
on.
how dare I not forgive myself? How dare I not forgive you when I know that there is someone who is sovereign? There is someone who got power greater than me, that forgives me, that loves me unconditionally. So how dare I hold anyone hostage in my heart and in my mind? And then I found out the hard way, when you harden your heart and when you do not forgive yourself or other people, that has a cause and effect on you physically. I don't want that. So I speak peace over my mind and my heart real quick.
I know that's right. I felt it. I felt that real quick. So I basically with the Asabi came into play as part of your 22 years journey. Where did Asabi come from? What does that mean? What does that mean to you? Why so important that it is a name, AKA for you?
One, because I believe that there is power in a name. And I read so many stories about different people. And I'll even give an example. I know you know the story about Paul, because we talked about we talked about the story about Paul, but before he was Paul, he was named Saul. And what was attached to his name, he was persecuting the Christians. Anybody who professed the name of the Lord, he would deliberately persecute them according to what he thought, felt, and believed. He thought he was doing the right thing. But then he had an encounter. And once he had that spiritual encounter, that and that conversion in his heart took place, where he no longer desired to persecute Christians. He no longer desired to perpetuate that narrative. He now desired the very thing that the people that he was persecuting, he desired that very thing. But in the midst of his conversion, his name got changed. And his name spoke to his purpose. His name spoke to his newness, because there was so much attached. This is me now, my ism. There was so much negativity attached to that name.
Yeah.
But not only that, his conversion and his name changing spoke to his identity, his level of awareness of who he now is, what he now walks into. And so now, making it about me, I earned that name. Asabi is Swahili, but not only Asabi Owusa Ayaloa, which translate in Swahili mixed with Yoruba, that she is of choice birth as the clear of the way and joy to her people. I live that.
Come on.
I live that. So not only is it, I tell people often, it's my adjective. It's who I am. It's what I do. Because at one time I didn't believe that there was joy in me. At one time I didn't believe that I could be chosen to lead a people. I didn't believe that people will be receptive to me, that I was worthy enough to, even right now in this moment, that if you would ask me a couple years ago, I would look at you like you crazy. For me to walk into a room with my head up high, my spine straight. Come on now. She is of choice birth as the clear of the way and joy to her people. And I want to give the gentleman who had given me that name. I had a naming ceremony and everything. And so I had a rite of passage into womanhood, because these group of guys seen a leader in me. They seen a woman, a Black woman. They seen someone who can lead a nation. They believed. And so what they did was they began to cultivate me. They began to challenge me. And now Asabi is beginning to be developed. And so it was beautiful in prison. I experienced this in prison. Some people never been in prison and have not did a rite of passage into womanhood. But these group of men they felt it necessary
Shout out to those group of men.
To allow me to go through a real life process that reflected our history, that reflected our culture, that reflected the identity of who we are collectively, because nothing about who I am speaks to just the individual. Because I often say that I am because you are. I recognize that I can't do what I do without people.
Exactly.
So shout out to Brother Bakari for and being, I oftentimes tell people you need to tell him thank you. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, because he is the one that got my attention to say there was something out there for me. I begin to see my life outside of prison. I begin to see myself serving people. I begin to see myself being an advocate for people, not just women, but people.
Okay, let me go to the chat. Okay, I want to take a question from the chat before I move on. All right. Sade Smith says, being incarcerated for 22 years, what has that experience taught you about? I think you hit that, right? Or you want to hit it again?
I did, but the one thing that it taught me is that everything that I done in prison, not everything, most of the things, the tools that I learned while in prison was to help me grow while in prison. Because now that I'm on this side, the same tools that I used while I was in here, I'm not using them out here. It's a whole nother beast out here. So some things I had to unlearn, but the greatest lesson for me is learning who I was, learning where I come from, learning that I had purpose, understanding my self-worth, understanding the importance of forgiveness. If I could say those were my greatest lessons, because it was in prison where I made the decision to do something different. It was in prison where you now are reading It Takes One to Know One, workbook and journal. It was because I was in prison that you are reading People Pusher. It was because of that experience, because what birthed out of that is books on tops of books. What birthed out of that is goals on top of goals and visions. And now just being put in a position where I can now see those visions come to life. Those are my greatest lessons.
Thank you for that. So basically, I'm gonna switch it around a little bit. I'm gonna give you a little minute to marinate before we go into Pus'Her. So basically, I'm gonna do something like I did earlier today. When I give you the phrase, just give me one word to. If you can't do one word, 3 words.
One word. Come on.
All right, one word. Painful experience.
1998. Is that a word?
Yes.
Okay.
If you write it, not N-I-N. So 1998. That's what you said. Okay. Difficult decision.
Mother.
Okay. Define success in one word.
Pus'Her.
All right. Happiness.
Joy.
The pursuit of happiness.
Pushing forward.
Okay. I like that. All right. So of course I'm gonna go back to mother. Why mother? Difficult. When I ask you difficult decision, right?
Yeah,
difficult decisions.
Because I had to make a difficult decision as it relates to my mother, and it doesn't feel good. I help so many people. I help people not even knowing I'm helping people. Those are the people I'm talking about. When I'm not being intentional, when I'm just showing up being myself, and someone can be blessed by that. Someone's life can be changed. I naturally do that. And I don't have the same cause and effect with my mother. And so the difficult decision that I had to make, and that I'm committed to is just being a daughter to my mother. I'm not in a position to serve my mother like I may serve you. I'm not in a position to give of myself the way that I may give to someone who is calling my phone because they just need to talk. They just need someone to listen. I'm not in a position to be that for my mother. And that saddens my heart because I know she's hurting. I know she's struggling. But she's so prideful that she won't say it. And I'm saying your freedom is dependent upon it. Because the same peace that I have, the same joy that I have, that I want you to experience, I want her to experience too. But I had to learn that she has her own path and she has to make her own decisions. And it is difficult to live with the fact that I can't do for my mother what I do for everybody else, even what I do for myself, because I'm free. That's how I can want that for my mother. And I tried. I'm telling you, I tried. But I can't because I was trying. It wasn't happening because the other person has to participate and they have to be willing. And why did you do that?
I appreciate that. I thank you for sharing that with us. I really, really, really do appreciate that. Yeah, that definitely that's heavy. I agree. And that's heavy. But as we talked yesterday, just by you talking about it, just by you, that's a part of freedom, part of being free, being able to talk about it, being able to speak about your life, being able to live in your truth. That's a part of freedom. So, sorry about that, but I just had to do that. I had to go there.
And look, when I'm doing workshops, I do not give people toilet paper, tissue, nothing. Cry.
Mm-hmm. So, you have any regrets? Biggest regrets? None. Deepest fears? All right, cool. Okay, so let's move on to Pus'Her. We'll read in the chat from Veronica. Freedom is a choice, and she must choose her own. Yes, I agree. Good comment. All right, so let's move into Pus'Her. Who's Pus'Her today? What does Pus'Her look like?
So Pus'Her looks like a body of people pushing each other towards excellence.
That's tough.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
And so Pus'Her is actually an acronym for preparing us strategically, helping everyone regardless. Because I believe in order to reach your next level, whatever that is, you got to have a plan. No matter what circumstance you find yourself in, before you can get out of that, you have to have an effective plan so that you won't find yourself back at square one. So if while you're at square one and you develop a plan for your future, for your life, no matter where it is, no matter where you want to go, even if you think that it is radical, write the vision for your life and make it plain. And so where I come in at is to let you know that you don't have to search outside of yourself, because the answers to all of the questions you have is inside of you. So here I come to push you to answer your own questions. You do the work. You begin to participate in your own growth, because I recognize through my own process is that if you do the work for me, I'm going to let you. If you figure out and if you think for me, I'm telling you my mindset before. I will let you think for me. There was a time within my incarceration, even while, because I was a teacher, licensed teacher, teaching, doing all of that, but I was tapping into other people's power. I was believing through the lenses of other people. And although I may showed up in excellence in the inside when the curtains was closed, it was a different story. It was a different story. And so I'm saying today, I know that when I show up for me first, I'm showing up for the people. Why? Because I am what I do, and I do what I am. Push people.
Okay. Okay. I like that. I like that. Through the lens, huh? Through the lenses of other people's.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. I feel that. I feel it real heavy. But should you write your plan on paper? Should you write your plan on paper? Somebody asked. Richard
Listen,
Reynolds asked, should you write your plan on paper?
listen, don't tell nobody. Well, I don't care. There was a time that I wrote my plan on my bunk. I wrote my plan on my wall. You write on a paper, you can write on your, I don't care what it is. If you are a visual person and you not just relying on memory, you write on whatever. I still write. My penmanship, I love it. It's neat. I like it. I still write because I'm not lazy. I don't rely just on technology, on computers to store my thoughts. I still write. That is where I start. I start writing and then I will transfer my writing. But I got hard copies for everything, every creative thought that I want to share. It's on paper first. And some things I can't get back because I wrote it on them people's property.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I feel you. So, what can we look for Pus'Her in the future?
So in the future, I my desire is to do in-person events. I want to do my own events. I want the community involvement. I don't want to stay stuck in a box. I don't want to just talk to people that I know. I want to challenge myself and put myself out there to begin to not just network but build with other people. I don't want to reinvent the wheel. If it's already working, then come on, let me. One thing I love about Pivot, and I always talk about Pivot Workforce Development, we don't reinvent the wheel. We look for new, fresh ideas. And if you have something that is working, we will partner with you because you know what we need. You know who we serve. You know the community of people that we serve, women who have been impacted by the criminal justice system. And so we're not a housing program. And because we're not a housing program, we're not trying to step into that field wholeheartedly. So we want to partner with people that have housing opportunity. We don't want to reinvent that wheel. We don't want to be at the be all in everything. We want to be experts of what it is that we bring to the table to serve these women. That's why I love it. And because of that mindset, that's who I am. I don't want to do what you're doing the way that you're doing it. However, can we partner? Because at the end of the day, it ain't about me. It's about the person that needs something from you. And I'm not that prideful of a person that I can't reach out to say, even to you, look, my uncle needed a haircut. What I do? He needed a haircut. Let me connect y'all together because I don't cut hair and I don't want to cut hair. And so, but because I know that you are a plug, you are a resource, I'm going to extend that to you. And that's what Pus'Her is about. I want to bring people together to begin to see that we don't got to go far. Even like with these podcasts and broadcasters, these big networks, all these social media platforms, we will go out and comment and support. We'll pay money. I'm a part of that too. We'll pay money to go see these live shows and all that. But the people that's right in your community, who is doing the same thing, we won't invest. And so what I want to do is bring the community of people. And as we heal out loud, we are utilizing one another's resources. I know some people that are therapists and they are great therapists. You need a therapist? I'll plug you in. You know what I mean?
Everybody need a little therapy, I think.
Right. And I'm
Yeah.
just making that point where that
Yeah.
is what Pus'Her is about. I want to bring these people in a room, especially leaders, because we can be
Yeah.
so selfish. We can
Yeah.
be so selfish without information. We so selfish without creativity. I'm a leader's leader because I'm unafraid to push a leader, to let you know that, can you please come down off your high horse and meet me right where I am? Can you do that for a second? I'm that person.
Yeah. I know that's right. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I got my plan.
All right, so we touched on Carlita, we touched on Sabi, we touched on People Pusher, you know. We had a good episode. What helps you be that person? Let's go. What helps you be that person?
What you mean?
That pusher person. That's what Veronica Jackson asked. What helps you to be that person? That
My
person that's
village.
willing to.
My village helps me. I don't do it on my own because I'm so private and I'm so guarded with my vulnerability. When I have issues, I want to try to do it myself. I want to figure it out myself. I'm stubborn like that. But I have some women and a couple men in my life who does not allow, they don't sanction they don't sanction that foolishness for me. They hold me accountable. I have an accountability partner. So I have a village. I know, and now today, that I am unafraid to say that I'm sad. I'm unafraid to say that my heart is heavy. I'm unafraid because these people that God has placed in my life, they accept me, for how I show up. And this is the first time that I've been under or with alongside a body of people who do not want to change me, but they accept. Do you know how rewarding that is? I have no choice but to live in my freedom without blame, shame, and guilt, and unapologetically. I have no choice because these men and women that are in my life, that's how they live their life. They live in the life that they are choosing. By any means necessary, protecting their peace, protecting their joy. They will cut you off. Listen, I'm gonna put her out there a little bit. I rock with her. So it's no secret that Veronica is my supervisor, but she's also my friend. She's also my sister, and she's also my personal success coach. You know? So I got a lot in one person wrapped up in one. But guess what? If I drop the ball today or tomorrow, she's going to hold me accountable because I'm showing up saying, this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to do it. And so I can't get mad at her if she's holding me accountable because I'm coming up short. She sort of like you and my sister have been consistent throughout my life that will tell me, and Bakari, who will tell me that I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. It ain't too many people in my life, from past and present, that will tell me that I am wrong, that I am out of order.
Woo. Restoring Hope Ministry. He asked the questions I was just about to get into. Thank you. Look at that. What? Do you go back into women's prisons yet? And are you willing to go into men's prisons as well?
I do not. My body isn't all the way in, but I do have the privilege because of Pivot Workforce Development, and I am the reentry manager and one of the personal success coaches. I do have the privilege to go into the institution 6 times out of a year. I do. I'm now working on going into Baltimore County. I've been in there a couple times. I'm working now so that I can go in there consistently. We are in the prisons. I am scheduled to actually go back to the Maryland Correctional Institution for Women next year. Actually in January, I will be going back to share a little of my testimony with the ladies. My book, It Takes One to Know One,
That's
is
big. That's
the
big.
Maryland Correctional Institution for Women. The women.
That's big. Did you ever imagine that? Did you ever imagine you being invited, come back and you tell us your story?
Well, I did imagine it. That's what
I'm talking about.
I did imagine it. Mm-hmm. I've always talked about it. Now, did I believe it? No. But I did imagine it. I did talk about it. And my sister always reminds me that God will have witnesses.
Yeah.
And there is someone who can attest to, and even yourself, that having conversations what I've seen myself doing once I begin to see myself outside of prison. But guess what? I'm not doing anything different than what I was doing in prison. I'm doing the same kind of work.
Listen,
I'm moving the same kind of way, and that is pushing people. I've always done that, even in my toxicity. And so imagine now that I'm healed. Imagine now that my mindset is different. Imagine what people are getting now, today.
Right. I'm proud of you. That's a big accomplishment. That's a really big accomplishment. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You know, you put it in the atmosphere. Basically, you know, we all already knew it. You know, I basically know, you know, you're capable of anything that you put your mind to. You're gonna do what you do. You're gonna always keep it positive, and I'm just proud of you, sis. You know, keep going. I'm here for it.
I know I was all over the place. That's my nerve.
It's all good.
I know how people feel. It don't feel good being on this side when you on the spot. But
you did very good. You did very good.
I hope that I gave just enough for people to learn a little bit more about me. I speak with purpose and on purpose, and I if I feel a need to pull back, I will pull back because that is my right to. Because the first priority is keeping me healthy. And if I am triggered, I am aware when I am triggered, or if there is a symptom of me being triggered, I know what to do with that. And I'm only knowledgeable of that because of the work that I do alongside of the people that I struggle alongside of today, who I definitely appreciate. So can I give some shout outs?
Give a shout out, but one person says the journey of being, Michelle Fitzgerald says, the journey of being incarcerated for 22 years wasn't just about you. God brought you back to square one to bless other people. Yeah, I'm feeling that. You're such an inspiration. She said, love you, auntie.
Oh,
big shout out to you. You deserve it.
I love you back. I love you back. Definitely, unconditionally. And there's nothing that you could do about it. You ain't got to work for it. You ain't got to ask for it. It's yours. Because it's coming from me sincerely. Definitely.
Go ahead and do your shout outs.
Okay, yes. I love everyone. Thank you, everyone who has shown up today. We kind of did this a little different. I did not tell anyone that we were reversing the rules, and I did not want to be totally prepared. I want to be authentic and transparent as best as I can. But I thank everyone in the chat for tapping in today, and I hope that you will come back next week, same time, Wednesday at 6:30 for the People Pusher show. I will have another guest that I will be introducing to everyone. And so I want you to begin to tap and follow me on Facebook, Pushing Forward. Even follow me on TikTok, Push It to 18. I'm telling you, I'm going some places. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Yes, subscribe to me now. Y'all be on YouTube. Don't act like y'all don't be watching YouTube. Y'all be on there watching them podcasts and reactions.
Your comments is going up. They going up in the chat.
So follow my YouTube page, People Pusher 2. I will begin doing lives. I will begin doing reactions. I will begin doing things over on my YouTube channel. So come on and subscribe to my channel. If you have yet to get your copy of It Takes One to Know One and People Pusher, I am asking that you go over to pusherlife.org and get your copy of It Takes One to Know One. In a couple weeks, we will be going through the workbook and journal. If you do not have your copy, I need you to tap in and get your copy. We are pushing forward.
Tap it in.
Forward. I recognize that with my 1 minute left, get it, Storm. She is a pusher, Storm. I love
Calita for VP.
Proud of you, sis. Hey, Lori. Hey, Lori. Oh, yes. My shout outs. I thank you to everyone so far who has blessed me by being on this platform. I thank you so much. I will be sending a personal video to your email, just thanking you and letting you know how much I appreciate you. I thank you, Pivot, workforce development, for being my village, for always showing up no matter what I do. I believe if I want to become an astronaut and I go to the moon, they will be there. They will show up. And I appreciate that. Shout out to the Ladies League of Baltimore, who is a pillow of comfort for me, who knows the intimate details about me and who struggles alongside of me to help me in my healing process as they go through their healing process as well. Shout out to the Ladies League of Baltimore. I love y'all so much. And Global Butterfly Effects community, shout out to you for being the umbrella that covers me, that intercedes for me, that supports me. I appreciate that invested in me, that read one line and said, I got to work with you. And so I definitely appreciate you for allowing me to be a part of your community. And I thank you to Trivia Inspirational Radio for giving me a seat at the table. I definitely appreciate it. I thank Nada Barber for pushing me, making me a little bit vulnerable. I thank you so much for showing up. Every phone call, every text, I do not take that for granted. I appreciate you answering the call. I appreciate you willing to do this with me moving forward. And the best is yet to come. Is there anything that you want to say?
No, I just want to say thank y'all for showing up. Thank you, thank you for being vulnerable. And how did I do?
You did a wonderful. I love you too, April. Do not click
Shout
off.
out to all my family and friends that joined. I thank everybody. I appreciate it.
On to debrief, so do not get off. But what I want to do is, I'm not going to give you flowers because I don't never see you with flowers. But what I will do is give you a pair of tennis shoes because I think that is what you like. You like your jerseys, you like Nike, you like Polo, and so. People are into giving people flowers. I'm not that person if you don't like flowers. I want to give you which I know that you will appreciate. So you just let me know so that I can bless you just because you are a blessing. It's not for anything other than I just want to be a blessing to you. So you just let me know how I can be a blessing to you and it will get done. It is your girl Pus'Her. If you're not pushing forward, you're moving backwards. Say it out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. No, really. Say
backwards never.
Out loud. Forward ever, backwards never. Yes, Nate is a natural. She can do this, and that's why you will see much more of her. Until next time.
Peace, Miss Parker.